This is the login page that you'll see when you follow the link that I sent you. It does have a create a user option. It will collect data from users, but any accounts need to be manually set up by me. So I'm going to work with the administrator for your organization to set up the accounts that are needed. And there may be easier to set up one generic login for a whole bunch of people rather than try to have specific passwords for specific people. In this video, I'll be covering all the features of the website. This account has them all active. Not all accounts are going to have all features. I'll be describing the day-to-day features that are used more often, and the advanced features I'll discuss later in the video. So it may not be necessary to watch this complete video, and I'm sure your administrator will give you some feedback. Typically, the number one reason for this database is to track your clients as they come to your organization to get meals. And I'm going to use the term meals. I deal with a bunch of organizations, and I could just get caught up in the different terms for that organization. So I apologize if it's not appropriate, but just a meal is just going to be, you giving food out to folks, family in need. So I want to work with an existing family. We'll assume that families have been added at this point in the database. You select that, we'll go to the screen. You can type in the letters of the last name. It lies. It says at least 3. You can type in 2 and think you can get away with none. And you would hit show results. The more letters you type in for the last name, the quicker the response time you're going to get, and the shorter the list. So when the list comes up, you can verify an address for the person, the family that you're dealing with. You can also get a list of the members that are in the family. There's some extra indications here which I'll go over later. There's just a shopping indication and a yearly status indication. You can go to the meals pantry. We'll bring you to a screen where you can record this meal information. The meal that they're getting today. It'll default to today's date and time. What you'll notice on the screen when it first shows up is that you'll have an indication of the family name. The members in the family will be listed. This particular family doesn't have a default address set, which is maybe fine. There's also an indication that there are previous meals that exist. What you'll see is a common structure, common form in these screens is that there'll be a grid type listing of previous entries that have been entered, and you can either delete them or select them. When you first come into a screen, the code assumes you want to do an add, so it's defaulted to today's date and time. And what you can do is typically some of the organizations will set an appointment date also at the same time the folks are getting the meal now. And you would just set in time, and as you work with it, the time will get populated in the text field above. If you don't want to set, say this is maybe a new ad case, and they're not getting a meal, but you're just setting them up for an appointment, you can select none, and then you would just set an appointment date sometime in the future. And then also down the bottom of the screen, what you'll notice that there's a notes section where your administrator can add additional information as far as dealing with this family. If there's any trends developing, if there's any situations that you need to be aware of, they'll be indicated here. If there's maybe confirmation that paperwork is needed, or maybe just some clarification that, like I said, if there's a more severe case where this family has got a red flag up here, there'll be maybe some more explanation as to how to process that and how to handle this family. When you're all done, you would hit Save Meal Info, and that will save the information for this family. List, and then you can exit. I do have an Access database, and The folks that have seen that Access database will remember that there's a lot more information displayed at the meal the meal manager screen. And what happens in the web environment is that it's no doubt you've seen pages that take forever to download. Pages can get kind of complicated if there's a lot going on the page, so it's kind of best to keep it simple, and it's another reason for the generic look of the website as it is right now, as it's developing. So typically you want to take advantage, you can take advantage of the web environment, and what you can do is you can go back to the main menu, and you can open up a new window, so you actually have two windows going. This will give me an indication, this will give me an opportunity to show another feature of the website, and that is getting access to data. The philosophy for getting access to the data in the website is just to provide you with as much raw data as possible for you to import into Excel, and Excel has a lot more capabilities for manipulating the data and massaging it into charts and graphs and tables that you no doubt want. So you can go to the show data, you want to look at the data in a grid format, and then you can check the options. What we'll do here is typically what we want to do is we'll want to keep track of the appointments as we set them. So we'll set a begin date kind of generically, and then we'll set it to, let's say we'll just, for time being, we'll set it to 4/1/16. We'll want to select meal appointments, and then we'll do a show grid. And so these are all the meal appointments that we have for starting for 2016. So now we'll go back to our other window. We'll work with an existing family. And we'll just set another meal appointment. This time we'll give them a meal. And then we'll set it for 2/2 at 2 p.m. Save it. And then we'll go back and we'll exit. And start working, we'll work with another family. And what we can come back here is we can come back to this grid, and we can just do a refresh, and you can see that it's updated so that we have, it'll show us that we have our most recent appointment that we've set is for February 2nd at 2 p.m. Now, like I said, one of the the data, as you see here, purposely has very little personal information in it. It has the family demographics. Unfortunately, the data for this family that I'm working with is not been filled in correctly. It's just test data, or there'd be more numbers here for the children that are disabled, and all these demographics that you have over here, as well as it does have a zip code. It does have an internal ID for the family and the address, so you could trace that back, and if you did want to look at the actual personal information, you could. Exporting into Excel is very easy. I can bring that up really quick. And you can just, what you can do is from the page, you just do select all. You can do a copy, and you go over to Excel, and then you can do just a paste, and all the information comes right into Excel. And ideally what you would do in Excel is you would set up a data page, and then what you would have is you would have other pages that would have charts and calculations on them that would set that, so that what you can do is you can just dump in the data, and then all your calculations update on the other page, on the other pages in your Excel spreadsheet. So I could show you how to do that, how to work with that. I can help somebody set that up for you. So the data will be more immediate. Okay, so that covers how to add, how to work with existing families. Let me show you how to add families to the database. You would go to again, dealing in the family area, you would say I want to add a new family, and this is the begin family ad. And there are a lot of fields here. I'll explain them all. The most important thing is that you don't have to use the fields. You could just leave them blank. So the preferred name is like for a nickname. I don't want to really, say, I prefer to call Jake. Start calling me Jake. This is the Harkins. The middle name. The suffix is like for juniors and seniors and triples and whatnot. Again, you don't need to use it. So man, let's take the date of birth. Right. Oh. These are, and it allows you to set an ethnic. And to the best of my knowledge, these are the ethnics that are part of the Connecticut Food Bank for the NAP program, I believe it's called. So these are the ones that I have. If you want some others, no. You can enter your phone number. Email, and this is my actual email address and my telephone number. If you are watching this video, I'd be more than happy to answer any questions that you have, and I'd be more than happy to work with your organization if this appeals to you. I also have an Access version of this, and the Access is not going anywhere soon. The web interface is just an extra added dimension that may appeal to some people, and it's also going to be a nice backup in case something were to happen with the Access database or the computers. There's also an identification field. Typically what I see the organizations do is they'll be asking for some identification for the family, and typically what they do is they won't record the actual number on the ID, but they may give some indication like it was a Connecticut driver's license or like it was a utility bill that identify them. And then also there's a note field, as I indicated before. The note field for the ads, there's only one note that you can. There's only one field here available, and to make a quick notation during the ad. But there's an unlimited number of notes that you could have available. I just want to make this stand out. So I guess it's the third, and I'll just say a note. Say confirm. Oops, you can type. Each. And then for the family size, one family, one adult, 0. And then again, this is the status for the family. And if everything's in line, you would set this to say OK for 2015. I'll demonstrate the no shopping, the red flag condition that will occur. I'll just set that as a check. And the address will be over here. Just a quick note on how to set up the addresses. You do not have to type in the state of Connecticut. It will default to the state of Connecticut. Also, there's a lookup feature for the town and the zip codes. All the towns and zip codes in Connecticut are present. And what you can do is if you just type in the town and you do a lookup, the code will limit the drop-down selection to just the zip codes for that town. And believe it or not, there's 3 zip codes for Meriden. Continuing on, there's an emergency contact information that's rarely used for an ad. So when you're all satisfied with this information, at the bottom of the screen, you do an ad family. And this is all that's required as far as you don't need to enter in the additional family members. For the family, you can just go by these counts here for the family info. So once the family gets added, it'll bring you to an edit screen where you can continue to add family members if you like. As I said, there's no requirement that you have to add all the specifics about the family. I've had organizations that do keep very good records and complete records about the families. And then I've had organizations that have just been fine with just collecting the family numbers, as you'll see here on the right. What I will know, and what I do want to point out to you though, is that these numbers over here that have been entered have no indication, or do not check as to the actual what's actually entered at the member level. So these numbers are transferred in to any reports. So you'll want to make sure that these are accurate, and don't assume that they're going to automatically consider the family members that you have added. Before we add family members, right now we are in the family screen. We are editing this family that we just added. So we are in family mode. So this right here, this pane is enabled. This is the family info. This is the family name. It just gets the last name of the person that we entered, and you can change the numbers of the family size of adult, children, elderly, and disabled. And then you can also set the no shopping flag, and then just give the indication of the yearly status as this family. As we scroll down, and you can save that information if you want. As we scroll down, you can see there's different areas for the address if you wanted to edit the address, or edit the contact information, or edit the notes. I'm not going to edit any other notes right now. I'm going to go and continue to add a new family member. When you add a new family member, you'll see most of this what was on the screen has disappeared. This has been disabled, and also the address and the contact and the notes have been disabled. So now you can add family members to this family, and let me just add a totally fictitious person, because this person does not exist. I do not have a son. We'll enter the first. We'll just enter the first and last name, and then we'll want to just use family address, and you can set the ethnic, and you can set the birthday. Done. You can just do. Scroll down and just say. Oh, and also for a. And then that'll take us back to the select screen, so we can, if we were to update, we can go back into this family, and we can see that this family now has this family member has been added. So there's another member in the list up there, and we can continue to add new family members, and we can edit any of these addresses. Just take over these screens really quick. What happens again is you go into the address. The first time in, it assumes an ad, and so we could add a new address here if we wanted to. I know this kind of strikes people as strange, and I agree. I haven't had a lot of people in a lot of organizations that do take advantage of multiple addresses, but you can maintain multiple addresses. The database has its origins to older database that did allow that, and I don't recall what the reason was for. If you ever just wanted to maintain a history of the addresses for your clients, and/or if your clients did have like a summer address situation. It's not so much in the food pantries that I work with today, is that the origins of the database, it was a membership tracking database at a church at one point. So in those types of situations, this was a little bit more important to do multiple addresses. So you can exit, and then we'll go back and we'll edit the family, continue to edit the family. So that's how we would edit the addresses. We can do the same thing with contacts. Again, our contacts are listed here. And if you want to add a new contact, there's admittedly the database is a little bit weak in this area, in the contact area. It's really just a free form. There's a lot of extra fields that are here right now during kind of the initial stages right now. So basically what it is like, I don't know if you wanted to add like another work phone number, or something, something, something. So, 2, 3, save, family, and some others. There's 2 numbers here for the contact. And then for the notes, again, similar, we can edit notes, and we have a note here. Now we can add multiple notes to this. So like if there's ever a situation where we can say difficult visit on we can say that as a note, and we can go back in and continue that the family, and there's 2 notes here. So I do want to demonstrate when we do go to distribute meals for this family, what happens with the no shopping indication. So we'll just exit this, and then I'll go to the meals pantry, and what we'll see is this is the red flag, the 86 code for this family. I intentionally do that just so that it's not so obvious if their client happens to be looking over your shoulder at the time that you're working with a website and this information. Sometimes it's a little difficult to see something like that about them, so it's kind of inconspicuous, and you know, that's for internal purposes only. And then you can see as you scroll down, we have several notes that are present that we can kind of, the person that's dealing with this client right now is just aware of what the situation is that they're supposed to confirm any children, and there's been you know, apparently there was a difficult visit on 12/15 by this person. So we're just kind of keeping track of these people, just kind of be aware of how to deal with it. So we can exit that, and then that's pretty much it for the family. I did cover some of the reporting already. That's available. You can also do, if you wanted to ever search for a person, you can do a search by first name if you were looking to. So if you just type in my name, of course, you don't want to be all over the place. But this will search the whole database, and it is going to take some time, but it is going to tell you all the people, all the names where J is used, and then all the family members. And I'm just all over the place. So, but you see, it'll give you some indication of the addresses and the family members and the name of the family. So back to the main menu. There's also another feature, or a couple more features of the database, is that you can work with individuals if you ever wanted to. Some of the organizations that I do work with, they track volunteer time. So you can just as easily work with individuals as similar, you would say, show results. And then this is working with the individuals in the database, and you can do specific, you can have specific functions for the individuals, like if you wanted to give, children, children a toy, or if there was a giveaway, or you give away mugs or something like that to all the children, you could just focus on the individuals as opposed to the family. And then you can also edit if you wanted to edit this individual. You go edit, and that will jump you to that family ad screen that we were at, where you can edit the information for this individual. Another feature of this web interface, and one of the features that's actually present on the web and not in the Access database, is that there's also a posting structure set up, so you can post messages and check for replies. So this is just setting up different boards and allowing users to post different information on different subjects and subcategories and comments. And what happens is also then users can reply to those subjects, so you can exchange information about the database. If there's been any issues that I need to address, I can set up a board where information like that can be posted. You can have this set up so you can post and all just others can read, so you can use it as like a broadcast function as well.